Hello there, thanks for tuning into Adjucana, the Advanced Racing Analysis. So I'm here again in downtown Detroit. It's actually good to walk down here now because we've had protests the past few days, so it's actually a jewel to walk down here knowing that everything is still intact. So, I mean, there have been protests, so as long as they were peaceful, it was good. They were mostly peaceful protests, but they were mostly peaceful, but now, you do see that, but everything is still intact, as you see, so everything is still pretty much intact, for the most part, so I like that. I like the protest, but keep it peaceful, so that's good. Okay, all right, so this weekend is the Virtual LeMans race. So this weekend, the Virtual LeMans race. Pretty much every single car, every single team has professional sim racers in the lineup, except for two teams. And those teams are very notable. So the only two teams with no professional sim racers are Penske and United Autosport. So two cars with no sim racers, meanwhile every other team has sim racers. So, but that makes you think, because Penske is one of the best factory teams you can have, there can be. And United Autosport is one of the best privateer racing teams there is. So United Autosport is one of the best privateer teams you can have anywhere. So why are two of the best teams, two of the best organizations, how come they don't have any, excuse me while I cross the street, give me a second here. Okay, so how come two of the best racing organizations do not have any sim racers? So pretty much they race to win, but in an environment, a simulated environment where your best chance to win is to have a professional sim racers, these two teams do not have any simulator racers. Well, I think the explanation is that they're using it more as an exercise for their drivers. So more because Penske is known already, so whether they win or not, it won't add to their cachet, it won't add to their reputation. Well, it will add to their reputation if they win, but that's not really a big deal for them because they have so many more wins. And United Auto Racing, they also race to win, so naturally they would want the best drivers, but they have them because they want, I think because their drivers are already good racers, because the drivers are usually young drivers. Those drivers are usually already good sim racers. So I think that's why, in their case, that's why they have those drivers. But Simon Pagenaus is here as well. So him being here actually, and then Lando Norris is actually in this race as well. So Lando Norris is actually here as well. So Simon Pagenaus being in this race might raise a few questions, but I don't know. But it might raise questions, but it won't. No one's going to ask it because he's an A-list racer. He has proven his worth in racing. His racing pedigree is undeniable. He's a heavy hitter. Okay, all right. So, hold on while I cross the street once again. So Simon Pagenaus is a proven racer, and he's proven himself in racing. So right now he's using his reputation as a winner in racing, as a pretty much almost a legend in racing. So he's flexing his muscle, because maybe any other driver who did what he did to Lando would have had some backlash, a lot more backlash, and maybe consider that Pagenaus is the one leading the charge for Penske. He was the one who actually had convinced Penske to enter Virtual LeMans, because that was a race that's dear to him, and so that's why they took out Elio Castroneves. Well, he's not that good of a sim racer anyway, and put in Simon Pagenaus, because Simon Pagenaus is the one who led the charge to have Penske enter the Le Mans, the Virtual LeMans race. So he's also flexing his muscle as an A-list in the world of racing. So that's why no one's going to say anything about it, and he knows it. He knows that he could do stuff like that and get away because he's proven himself. So compared to if he was a lesser driver, maybe they wouldn't allow him to be in the race. I don't know. But I'm sure the organizers have probably spoken to him about it and hoping that nothing happens. So are there any favorites in the race? I'm sure they are, because I'm sure the racers know themselves more than I do, because I don't know a lot of the sim racers, and actually none of them. But in my opinion, the team Redline teams, so the team Redline with Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, and also the AF Corse Ferrari with Antonio Giovinazzi and Leclerc, I think those are teams that could be considered favorites. But not really, but my reasoning is that their racers are also very excellent sim racers. Their real life racing drivers could actually be similar to racers, professional similar to racers, if they wanted. So that's why I think that, so pretty much those teams have pretty much like all sim racers, all professional sim racers. So that's why I think they are somewhat the favorites, or they could be in the top results. But there's really no favorites. Is there an advantage for the real racing team like Penske? Is there a real advantage to them, or Corvette Racing? Not really, because their only advantage is that maybe strategy. They could make strategy calls better than other teams. But the advantage comes in, hold on. Well, the real advantage for the team is that if they're real-world racers, in the strength of the real-world racers as gaming racers. So how good the real racers can do sim racing. So that's the only strength. So let's say your real-world racers are pretty good and you have good sim racers. Your only advantage is your strategy. That's the only thing that could give you a leg up. So, I mean, where's Dale Coyne when you need him? So Dale Coyne is one of the best strategists anywhere I've ever seen. So he would have been very good here because he's very good in strategy. So I think that's the only advantage for the real world team in strategy. Strategy to that advantage, making the right pit calls and the right fueling calls, and I think that's the only advantage the real world team have in this environment. So that's what I think. And also the equipment. So whoever had the equipment that the drivers are using, so that could come into play. So I'm not sure if, let's say, Penske are subsidizing the drivers' equipment, or United Autosport subsidizing the drivers' equipment, or Toyota are subsidizing the drivers' equipment. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if that will come into play or not. So it could, maybe not. But also, what else? Well, those are my thoughts. So we'll see how it goes, and it should be fun. And enjoy the race, and I'll give my thoughts on it after the race. And maybe during the race, I might make a video, or send some Twitter announcements. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the summertime while it lasts. So I'm enjoying the summertime a lot right now in downtown Detroit, and stay safe. Please like and subscribe.